Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone this morning? So good, I hope. So good. I am doing fine and dandy this morning. If you're brand new here, if you would like, follow, and subscribe to Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. And then please ask to join Stitch Along with Ann Facebook group and Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group for all things Ann and artsy, like my sale that's continuing, I think, until Friday, because it was a lot of work inputting all of those price changes, and it's going to be a lot of work changing them all back, because I did something like, what do the kids call that? Analog? When I so could have done it an easier way. But anyway, I digress. For all things Ann and artsy, please go to Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. And if you want to just chat with me, Corbiere-Scott-Designs@gmail.com, or you can send me a direct message, or, leave me a message here. Good morning, Vicky. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Everybody, I hope you have a big water. I have all kinds of fun for us to do and chat about today. What started out, this is funny, but what started out as a what do I want to say? When you start something artsy and it starts out as one kernel of an idea in your head, right? And that was these, right? Pages, this is all my torn paper because I did this all on copy paper. That's okay, right? Well, it started out as these, and I knew I wanted to use this as our base to grow. Then it grew into something so amazing, and I started to see the deeper meaning and, what do I want to say? The deeper, oh, sorry, Tam. That stinks. That stinks. Anyway, I just started to, I knew I wanted monochromatic. I knew I wanted to grow it monochromatically. But as I did, I started to see all of the growth that could happen and all of the growth that could happen through the limitation of monochromatic. Does that make sense? So, I started to really think about my colors in a new way. Like, how could I make the most of what I'm creating, of each color? So, here goes. So I started out with this orange page, right? So, remember, oh, oh gosh, sorry, Vic. You'll do great on Saturday morning. What do I want to say? What's being asked of you now, right? So you're just gonna, in those moments, not to get too godlike, but I do just pray for God to help me through those moments. And my mom did that, and she had lots of MRIs and CT scans and all of those things, and she said every single one was miserable. But she did just pray, close her eyes and pray, and do all of those relaxation, meditation exercises that we've all done a million times, relax your feet, relax your toes, and then go all the way up. Anyway, Okay, so here's what I did. I started out with the daubered page, right? And then I just started out with my watercolor paints because I wanted to keep it not only monochromatic, but I told myself, I was thinking like I wanted for this piece, I mean, you can do all different, right? But for this piece, I wanted to do monochromatic background paper, art paper that we can use in collage, we can use in a million different ways, right? I knew I wanted to do monochromatically, but then I was like, what if I put another perimeter on it and on this one, I just use water-based things. So I started out making some painty circles, and you can probably see them. And then I started to grow with some mark making, right? You can see mark making, right? And then I took a couple of stencils and I'll show you. Anyway, I took a couple of stencils, and one was my famous plastic doily that I've used. I don't even know how old this thing is. Who knows? I just love a plastic doily. So if you are ever at a thrift store or a yard sale and there's plastic doilies, snatch them up because they are great and nobody else will have them, right? So you'll have something unique to you. So for this one, I'll show you on one of the other colors, but I painted the doily and then I stamped it onto, I stamped my paper actually onto the doily. So you can see here, here. I just wanted all kinds of visual interest. I also have a alphabet stencil that I bought. I think I bought it at Dick Blick, but it's by Westcott. So you can find these at like the dollar store, I think, or Michael's, or those kinds of places. Anyway, these are super fun. Number one, to get some like letters and numbers, that's kind of always cool visual interest, but also all of these punctuation marks, we could do a billion things with those, right? I did with you, Tam. I did. And I told you I was going to do something with them. Okay, so this is the next step, right? So we're going to do all of the papers that we created. We're going to do this next step. Then we're going to decide if we want to take it further, right? If we want to grow it even more. But for right now, let's do pink, shall we? That sounds like a great idea. Okay, so this is what I did. I just got my water and my watercolors. Ooh, everybody take a drink. I'm kind of thirsty this morning. So this, you can do this whether you, maybe if I go sideways, you guys can see the whole sheet. There we go. Whether you did watercolor dots and then painted over them, or you used daubers. Either way, it was water-based, right? And you could bleed the color. You could really have that color bleed out, and that was our beautiful first step. Now, we're going to take watercolors. So, if you did watercolors, then you're just going to repeat back where we were. So I put some water in here to start to activate this pink. And I'm just going to round. So I really want you to think about all these monochromatic layers, right? It could be because we're doing them in small segments and nothing is too condensed, we should be able to put lots of layers. So you see, I'm just doing swirly circles on top of what we just did, right? On top of the dauber. So the daubers are going to peek through. You can see the dauber circles still peek through, but like with any art paper, right? We want lots and lots of layers. So we have all that cool visual interest. Hi, Joanna. How are you this morning? Here I am. Here I am, painting away. So think about, you could, if you had a, I don't know, a specific idea in mind, you could certainly use this technique to create artsy papers for that, particular project. Or, you know, just like when we do jelly printing or any other art papers that we've created together, you could just do them in colors that you like. That's what I usually do, and just create papers, and then I find a use for them later on, right? So this one I'm doing a little bit different than the orange one. This one I'm covering it in circles, in painty circles. I just love that painterly vibe, you know? So, okay, so we have that, and that's a lot of circles, right? So let's do some mark making. So we could do X, 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 X. And I like it to look really, really random, really, right? Let's do some line work. And I just like to paint until the paint runs out. I love that. And then, it runs out all the way. And then let's turn our paper so we have a whole different vibe going. Maybe let's go over some of the other ones. That's kind of cool. Maybe just do some that are just a few lines. Maybe vary our length of lines. Stop, I'm loving it so much. And here's the thing, as it dries, it becomes more and more, it gets lighter, right? And you start to see lots of cool little, what do I want to say? Nooks and crannies that you want to enhance. Everybody take a drink. Right? So we have this going on. Where else do I want to go? So is anybody painting along with me this morning on their on their first layers, right? Remember we had, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets. So I have 6 sheets to paint. So I could do them in different layers of or different steps. Like I could do this one and set it aside and paint another one, or I could do this one start to finish. That's what I did with the orange one, so I feel like I kind of liked that. But you know, feel free to change it up however you want. So I want to dry just some of these bigger wet spots, the wettest wet spots, I should say. Okay, and now let's do some stencil work, see what we can build with that. So I'll show you what I did with the, it's not really a big, artsy technique or anything. It's just kind of fun. Okay, so I'm taking this angle brush because that's what I grabbed. And then I'm just gonna get some of that pink, coat my paintbrush, and then I'm just gonna, this. And when you, okay. And the plastic will kind of repel it, but that's all right. We're not going for a perfect print, right? Then I just take my paper and just stamp it down on there, give it a good rub. I want to get as much of that funkiness from that plastic doily. Stop it! Look at it. Look at it, look at it, look at it! Let's do some more. Let's wet our brush. Oh, there you go, Tam. There you go. Well, I was using, earlier I was using, stop it, you guys. And you know what I love about this? Is that it looks really dark right now, but it's going to continue to dry and get lightened and lightened and lightened. And so then it's just, it all looks very monochromatic. I mean, my paint, my dauber paint and my watercolor are slightly different, but not a lot, right? Okay, so now I can take this and stamp on there, right? See what happens? I mean, I'm not going for any kind of particular, oh, stop it right now. And then, you guys, look at, I have all this pink down here. So what if I just do the smush technique, right? And peel up as much of that paint as possible. All right, so look, we have all kinds of stuff. Do you just love that? I'm telling you. Find a plastic doily. Number one, they're really sturdy. So that's why I think I've been able to, I've taken them to every painty class I've ever taught. 1 million people have used them. And they just hold up. Flip it over and see if we can dry a little bit from the back. See what happens. So I just wanted to say, number one, that like I said, the sale is going to go through Friday because it's a lot of work to change all those prices. I don't know why I did that manually. I don't know. I wasn't thinking, I guess. But anyway, it's going to take a lot of work to change them back. And so you have a couple days to, you have used, I think Tammy has too. Okay, so, and this will just continue to dry, right? Then so we could do all kinds of other stuff on here. We could do splatter painting. We could do, we could do some letters, right? So let's fiddle around with that. So this is how I did it. I just took a round brush, then I got some of that paint going. And then I just painted it roughly within there, right? Nothing too, and I'm just randomly painting letters. I don't, I'm not doing anything in any particular order. I'm just kind of taking advantage of having it down here, and then I can, stop. Okay. So look at, good morning, Denise. How are you this morning? So we can just continue to, there we go. Paint some letters. Turn. Oh, number 4. Good thinking, Vic. Oh, I'm so happy to see you too, Denise. Did Nancy tell you that I took your card with me because it said such nice things and I kind of needed that. You know what I mean? We got a little bleed on that one. That's all right. Oh, I'm loving it. Kind words are the, it did make my heart happy. More happy than you can imagine. Okay. So I have some letters down, or numbers, right? So I can fiddle with this. I can let it dry and see where I can go. I was thinking we could absolutely do some of that. It's making me so happy, you guys. Stop it with this little moment right here. All the feels. I have all the feels for that. All the feels. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside to dry. And then let's do green. Oh, that has a little pink on it. Not sure how that happened, but it did. So we'll just go with it. Everybody take a drink. Got to stay hydrated. Sorry, that was a loud drink. Sorry. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about how proud I am. Now that today's the first day of our 5th year together, right? I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge all of you and that none of this would be possible without all of you and your support and your kindness and 4 years of building our community, our creative community, 4 years of sharing with me with your friends and growing our community, 4 years of sharing what I know and learning right beside you has strengthened my connection to you and to art. I just want to acknowledge that. My goal for our 5th year is to do even more of it, stretching our creative muscles with each encounter. And I hope you feel the same. I do. So here's something totally off topic, but I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. You know, when you are a junk journaler or an art journaler, you find little bits of stuff everywhere. I found this little tag from a tea bag. It says, "The only thing that can limit you is believing that you are limited. Become limitless." Shut the front door. I am absolutely putting that in my art journal. And I was thinking, because it's already like this little folded tab, shut it. Wouldn't it be so cute sticking out from my art journal? That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's do green. Shall we do it kind of the same? Shall we do it a little bit? I know it was powerful, wasn't it, Sarah? Do you want to hear some sad news, Sarah? Jeff is in Seattle today and tomorrow. Boo! But I am home. But I'll be there again. And we'll go to that art store again. So this time, let's do some line work. I told you, I like to just paint till there's no more paint. I love that. I don't know why. And just paint with abandon. It doesn't... I didn't get to come with him this time. No, I didn't. But I will again. You know. So I'm doing some big lines just because they are fun to paint, right? But then I'm really feeling like let's do some littler marks, more like shorter. That's a big one right there. Let's take some of that paint. And we can change up the direction of those. I love that. Right? And mark making can be whatever you want it to be. It can be lines, it can be shapes, it can be, you know, whatever you kind of want it to be. Loving that, I'm loving that. This is feeling kind of light, so what can we do there? Good morning, Carol. How are you, my friend? How are you? So good, I hope. Are you out and about? I love that those, they started to fade back. I love that. It's just magic to me when it just fades back and, I don't know. I just love it. I just love it. But I really want to keep going with the circles, the circles, the circles. I feel like that, this one, let's just do some random circles. You know what I mean? Are you at home now or are you still at rehab? Kind of digging that. With just like some random circles. That one's kind of fun, like round and round and round and round, round and round and round she goes. I'm digging that. What do you guys think? Oh, Carol, I'm sure that feels so good to be home. Okay, so let's let this one dry and let's paint another color and then I'll come back and do more on this one. Stuck my thumb right in that green. Okay, let's see, what do we got? We have blue. So I have a couple of blues here. But I like this ultramarine. Let's see. Oh, while I'm waiting for this to Oh, stop it. Look at that. This paint to kind of activate. Hey, Deb. How are you? So we are growing our dauber pages by creating some monochromatic art papers, right? So we're giving ourselves the limitation of monochromatic, of like one color, and then also the limitation of one medium, water-based medium, which is not a big stretch for us, right? We do a lot of water-based mediums. But here's the thing. Oh, it's raining. That's so funny. I was just talking to my dad, and he's having all kinds of rain too. Okay, so I just started to grow, I should say parameters instead of limitations, right? So we just gave ourselves the parameters of which to create with, right? And so they are color and medium. And that's going to really give you a more in-depth experience. It's going to really challenge you. Like, how can I make this really interesting? Only using those two things, not adding other things, right? So I'm just seeing this, you know, I have this, remember I have this French stamp that I made from, for Unity. I wonder if I put watercolor on this, what'll happen? We'll see. Right? And that's what I'm thinking. As you're creating, as you're playing with the parameters of water-based mediums and shush it, and color. Let's stamp until there's no more color on there. What can we do? What can we do to make that interesting, right? Absolutely, you could use your Karen markers. You could use, but I'm only letting myself use watercolor paints. Like pick one color, pick one medium, right? So if you pick Karen markers, only use Karen markers. If you pick watercolors, only use watercolor. Just as an exercise in stretching your creative muscle. Where can you let that take you? I think that's there's something to be said about creating in that way. It is like dot dash. You're right, Vicky. It is like Morse code. I know. I wonder if kids today even know what Morse code is. I don't know. I think I want to do this again. So let's paint that up again. I'm pressing harder this time, so I'm getting a better stamp, I think. And it's so funny that it looks so bright when I put it down, but look at how light it fades to. I love that. I love that. So what would happen if we sprayed this and stamped a little more? Just activated it a little bit more. Then we can clean it off with our paper towel. Right? Anyway, I think that's kind of looking interesting. Everybody take a drink. While we wait for this to dry, let's talk about the artist way. So, I was trying to think, like, what would be the best way for us to do this together. And so, I'll tell you my, my take on the artist way, and how I've approached it over the years. I read a section. These are those, I use these as my bookmarks. These are those, remember we made a background paper the other day and then I cut it up, and so it's my bookmark. Okay. So I was thinking about, like, the way that we could do this together without being a little bit boring of me just reading and reading and reading. So let's just have the assignment, like, before next Thursday, let's read the first chapter, the basic tools. A couple things I wanted to say to you. So the morning pages are a big part of her creative practice. And she, so she came up with this idea of the morning pages. And some people ask, what are the morning pages? She says, put simply, the morning pages are 3 pages of longhand writing, strictly stream of consciousness. So here's the thing, though. I don't make myself write 3 pages if I don't have 3 pages in me. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And here's another point. There is no wrong way to do the morning pages. Write 3 pages and write 3 more. Just write 3 pages and write 3 more the next day. I say, just write. Just get everything out of your head. So it's like, I think it's called now a brain dump, right? So you could write your grocery list, or I got to call the lawn people, or I need to finish this assignment, or I'm feeling this type of way with my aunt, and I want to rectify that issue, and here's all the things I got to put, just get it out, right? Then I often take those pages and if it's a lot of ick, I'll paint over it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got it out of my system, and that's a good thing. But then maybe I don't want anybody else to read that. And so, right, just get it out and then paint over it or draw over it or whatever. But there are a couple Nico, you could absolutely jelly print over it. Yes, but do it in a way that you're kind of honoring those feelings of yours, because your feelings are important, right? Feel your feels. But then, yeah, do something kind of useful with it. Because a jelly print, how often do we use a whole sheet of jelly print? Not very often. We usually cut it up or put stuff on top of it, or, you know, all the things. So, but there were a couple things I wanted to make sure that we talk about. There were a couple quotes that I thought were kind of good. A mind too active is no mind at all. Holy smokes, can I attest to that? Can I attest to that? That's what happens to me when I don't do exercises like this. When I go to bed at night, my head is like swirling, just too busy, you know? The events of our lives happen in a sequence of time, but in their significance to ourselves, they find their own order, the continuous thread of revelation. Oh, come on. That was a good one too, right? You need to claim the events of your life to make yourself yours. Words are a form of action, capable of influencing change. And don't you think that is the most helpful of all. Like, getting those words out. Number one, the practice of writing it and getting it literally spilling onto the page. But then also seeing it. The act of seeing it on your page, that's impactful too, right? So let's I told you I won't put, so let's read the basic tools, and it's long, just a sec. And I don't do a contract with myself because you know what? I just trust myself. I trust myself to be able to give myself what I need. I want you to trust yourself to give yourself what you need. Do you hear what I'm saying? And put another bookmarker in there. But so let's read the first chapter, and then we can talk about that. We can talk about the experience of doing morning pages. Like, let's do some morning pages from now until Thursday, and let's discuss that. Like, how do you feel? Oh, I wonder, you know what? We would have to go over to the group because the page, we can't do that. But I'm wondering if there's I'll look into that, Tam, if there's a way that we can I can make remember in Ornamental Yours we did guides. Wonder if I can figure out how to do that. Do a guide for each chapter. Anyway, I'm excited about this creative venture that we're all going to go on together. I'm super excited about that. Okay, let's see. Blue. Okay, let's do a little bit more, and then we can do the look at it. I'm just loving it. I'm just loving all of that visual interest. Like this time, let's do a grouping of mark making instead of like a line of them. I'm kind of digging that idea. So do one more in this direction. And let's turn. Let's just do this one. I'm going to do just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, dipped in green. What's up with that? Clean my brush. Go back in blue this time. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it so much. I totally want to do splatters, but I also want to do some stencil work. And I have some different stencils also up here. I have this one that I thought I could do the thing that I did with the plastic doily. I could do with this and just stamp because it's all squares. I thought that might be kind of a cool juxtaposition on a bunch of circles. Hey, don't forget that the sale is going on throughout the weekend, or through Friday, I should say, and every single thing is on sale. Classes, washi tapes, art printables. Now's the time to stock up on those, on ones that maybe you haven't gotten. Pins and stickers and coasters. There's new coasters. There's new stickers. There's pins those are brand new. Oh, I love it so much. I love it so much, you guys. Oh, let's dry back here. This one is feeling a little bit. So it is called the new birthday printer. Did I forget to put it on sale? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I will today, Tam. I will put Brandy on sale today. Honest to Pete. The new one is called Unforgettable. F-O-U-R. Let's see if I have an unpainted version. Here we go. So it should be the first one. It should be the first one, Unforgettable. All kinds of birthday fun. And oh my gosh, I'm painting up a storm. I'm having myself such a time with it. Let's see. What did I say? Oh, I want to do the stencil. No, because I hadn't. Well, because I had. Here's why. Here's why. It doesn't have an image, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you exactly why. Hey, Peg, how are you today? It doesn't have, because I had a whole different idea of what I was going to do, and then that didn't pan, like, it just, like, everything didn't, I was having an issue. Oh, I kind of like that, you guys. And so, I'll get a sample up there, honest to Pete. I was so mad at myself. Oh my gosh, I would love it if I would love it if you, I would love that. Carol, be sure to take a picture and post it. Well, this isn't going the way I thought it was going to go, but I'm just embracing it for what it is. Do you know what I mean? Just want to get some more layers of color down there. Don't get too precious with things, you know? It's an artsy paper. It's more about the practice of just creating these. It's this journey of blue, right? I'm just in this moment of blue right now. I know, Denise. We all do to a degree, but I know how creative you are. Thanks, Nance. I swear I will I will fix the Brandy situation, and I will get a sample up today using the new art printable. So anyway, the reason that there's not, I think I started that a bunch of times. Okay, the reason that there's not a sample is because I had a whole different idea going of what I was going to release for the May art printable. And it just was not working. Like, I don't know if it was me, like I was just like in a snit, or if like my idea I'm sure you've all been there where something just does not work. And so I had to do something totally different. And I had this birthday artwork drawn for something else, and so I thought, this is it. And you know what it is? It's that flower. I love that flower so much, and I love that birthday cake. And I wanted to do something thicker, so foilers would have like a thicker line to fiddle around with. And I love the banner. Like, it's those birthday candles. I love those birthday candles. Well, I love all of it. Anyway. That's kind of where that was, how that came about. So yesterday, I had a class later in the afternoon, right? The birthday party. And I didn't go get a piece of cake. I just couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my nephew came home while I was still teaching a class. And he goes, "What was that book you were reading?" And so I was telling him about the comfort book. And I think I need to buy him a copy. Do you know what I mean? We just got to keep spreading it. We just got to keep spreading the good word. Okay, let's open to a page. Here we go. The future is open. You don't need to know the future to be hopeful. You just need to embrace the concept of possibility. To accept the unknowability of the future is the key, and that there are versions of that future that are brighter and fairer than the present. The future is open. Oh, come on. That was so good. Hey, Sammy, you'll have to watch this one from the beginning because it's pretty fun what we're doing today. So I'm going to try and dry this little bit. So I still have purple and yellow pages to do, but I want to just continue to grow them and see where I can go with them. And then next Thursday, let's do something with them. Don't you think that sounds grand? Come on. I have a big idea for that too. I do. What was I going to say? Oh, I think I want to do some, oh my gosh, I'm loving that this has faded, but you can still see the text. Oh, shut it. Look at this stencil. This is a Crafter's Workshop stencil that I'm just mad for. I just love it. 408S is the number, but let's paint some of these. Get some more water in there. Activate it a little bit. I mean, it shouldn't be a big process because the paint was already pretty activated. There you go. There you go. That's right, Tam. Pull those stencils out. Pull out all kinds of things. You should have all kinds of... Please, you've been hanging around with me long enough that you know. We have all kinds of handmade stamps and, oh, you know. Oh, that one's kind of nice. I wonder if I take this and I paint this, I paint the shape of it. Do you know what I mean? See what happens if I stamp with that. Oh, shut it. Let's do that again. Love that, especially with the other stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I have that paint on the craft mat to pick up. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to do some more of that. Come on. That is making me so happy. We can just pick up some of that paint. This one's looking so different than the others, right? I'm kind of digging that. I want to keep doing these. Oh, you guys. I'm really liking those. Don't you love when you have a technique that you just kind of happen upon? Come on. And I love that it's dark now, but look at it starting to fade. I love that. What if we do one that's like off the page? I'm kind of digging that idea. So we'll do like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit. But you get the idea. It's looking kind of space, isn't it? Mm-hmm. You guys, I'm loving it so much. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Like it just looks, so, look at how different it looks from the orange. Look at how different it looks from the pink, right? The same process, but very different. Like the outcome is very different. This one we haven't done any stencil work on top. We just, I'm telling you, the Crafters Workshop, Valerie, the Crafters Workshop. We love the Crafters Workshop. We do, we do, we do. They have a big, beautiful collection. They have big ones and small ones, and they have stencil butters, and oh my gosh, so much. So I still have the purple and the yellow to do. So that'll be your homework. However many dauber pages you did, or dots that then we did the color bleed. However many pages you did, be sure to take them up a notch. And then, like I said, next Thursday, we'll do something cool with them, with our art pages, our art papers. And just like, we won't use all of them. We'll use parts of all of them, I should say, because then you'll have these to add to your artsy paper stash. I love when I have those. Do you know what I mean? I love when I go, oh, wait, I remember this orange paper that I made, and I could do this with it or this with it. I mean, and here's the thing. These can be the base of a art journal page. It can be collage. It can be bits and pieces of artsy parts for some collage fodder. It can be a card front. It can be, oh my gosh, so many things. So many things. So go out and, you know, paint your papers. Paint your papers and have yourself a time. I adore you all. I am so grateful that we are beginning our 5th year together. Can you believe it? I can't. I can't. So, make your papers, and then I'll see you. Well, be sure to open your email, your newsletter on Friday, and then I will see you back for sure on Hey Linz, and I will see you back for sure on Tuesday. Hi and bye, Linz. Hi and bye. Anyway, we're just doing an exercise in monochromatic and painting within perimeters, mediums, and colors. I adore you all. Thanks so much for joining me, and go out and paint your papers, and then let's do something with them next week. Bye, everybody.